Hey y'all, and welcome back to Rolling with Ken and Eb. Let's deal with the elephant in the room. I wanted this recorded and I'm willing to share it with my friends and family and those I've yet to know on my YouTube channel. It's very personal, it's very private, it's near and dear to me and my husband's heart, but I want to talk about that. And that is having a kid. Having a baby, having a child on my own, carrying the child. Many of you know that I got sick last year with a virus that anybody can get called Guillain-Barré Syndrome. Some people call it Guillain-Barré Syndrome or Guillain-Barré Syndrome. It was beyond my control. I was paralyzed for a little while, and then all my muscles and nerves just went kind of, and I had to relearn how to walk again, which I'm still in the process of finishing that. But there has been much conversation that I've had, great conversation, so don't anyone take any offense to what I'm going to say. If you're related to me or you know me and we've had this conversation, and I'm not going to use one example of a conversation I had with anyone, because I know people like to remain private, as I do to a certain extent, so I wouldn't dare regurgitate what we talked about in any way. But the conversation has constantly come up about me and my husband having children and wanting children. We've been married for 24 years. It'll be 25 February of next year. And we absolutely adore children. Always have, and I believe we always will. I personally am extremely good with kids. I've always been somebody's auntie slash mama, cousin slash aunt, cousin slash mama. Kids gravitate to me well because I absolutely am detailed and patient with spending time with kids and doing things for them and with them. And I've helped quite a few people, if I have to say so myself, along the years of taking care of their kids, whether that's helping out physically, financially, giving wisdom, giving advice. And so I'm not saying you have to be qualified to be a parent or have children, because we all know there are some people that it's just like, hey, you're like, okay, God, do you see what's happening over here? And that's all I'm going to say. But I know Ebony is definitely supposed to have children. I know I've always wanted children. And so at 46 years old, and I'm saying this because I know there will be comments, whether it be in my feed on the channel of this video, or whether it be in the background with people talking and me hearing about it later, or someone even having a conversation with me. But I know that's up there in age to have a child. But I will say this, whether you had your children in your 20s, your 30s, or 40s, or both, you've had some in 20s and you've had some in your 30s, and you've had some in your 40s, regardless. If you've never not had a child, meaning never been pregnant, or never carried a child, or never held a child, or had the opportunity to be a parent, then you could not even imagine how I feel, what I feel like, what life has been like for me since I've had kind of the baby fever since in my 20s, but okay with it. Hey, I felt I had plenty of time. In my 30s, same thing. Actually, in my 20s, I didn't even want kids because of how I grew up. And also, and I don't mean that in any shade towards my mother or father, but just some experiences that I had that let me know I didn't want children until I was like in my 30s. But I mean, even in my 30s, I was okay. I was cool, calm, collect. Hey, I'm still not a mom. I'm still a great auntie. I got some nieces, several nieces. I got some nephews that been adopted either by friends or church affiliates in the past or whatever. But, and I'm sorry if I'm shaking all over the place because I'm actually holding the camera in my hand. But I still believe there's nothing like having your own children. And yeah, I hear people say, well, why don't you adopt? There's so many kids that need love. Okay, did you adopt? And if you did adopt, that's phenomenal. But do you still have your own birth children? So I don't say that to be rude or to be mean or to be inconsiderate. But I say, let God do his work. If it is in God's will, which I believe it is, and if I am willing to have faith and believe with God and do the work of taking care of my body, taking care of my health, then it's my decision and my husband's decision and our decision alone. And at best, what you could be doing is praying for my healthy outcome, my child or children's healthy outcome. Yes, because forever and a day, I've always wanted twins. I was like, let me get 2, 1 and done, and I'm out the way. And then I always felt like I had so much love to give. People who know me know I'm a very, very loving person and a very, very patient person. And I don't say that because to say I'm better than anybody else. I just believe it's the assignments that God has for me and the people he knew that I would encounter over my lifespan that put me in that position of having that kind of love for people and having that kind of patience and that kind of love for children and the selflessness that it takes to be a parent. And so, no, this is not an announcement that I'm pregnant. I wish it was. Whoa, I would be all over the place. And this video would be way up there in energy, more than so what it is. But I also want to say this to you. If you are a parent, if you have children of your own, and you feel like maybe you missed the mark somewhere, or you didn't do your very best, or you don't like the outcome that you see in your children, keep the faith, hold on. They don't come, but you already know that more so than me, with a manual, because you had one and there was no manual that was given to you. And also, sometimes the challenges that you go through is going to make them a greater person than who they already are, and the challenges that they go through themselves. And so I say, it's okay. Honestly, it is. I was never a parent up until now, which that's my goal. Again, not saying I'm pregnant, no announcement, but I'm saying up until now because I know I will be a parent. And if it's down the line that God, time progresses and my health is in a different state and not quite where me, God, my husband believe it should be, and I may still end up adopting. I don't know. Excuse me, but what I want to say is no, I haven't been a parent up until now, but I have been a child. And I'm good. I'm not perfect, but I made it through. I made it through whatever storms my parents went through together. I made it through whatever storms they went through separately. I made it through whatever storms that I introduced to them possibly, or to my mom. I made it through, and I made it through this even greater challenge of health. Getting a virus that any of you watching could get. Kids get Guillain-Barré Syndrome. Look it up. Old people get Guillain-Barré Syndrome. Look it up. Young people get Guillain-Barré Syndrome. Look it up. Middle-aged people going into the middle age as myself get Guillain-Barré Syndrome. So it could have happened to anybody. But it's a horrible thing. It has taken people out. And for me, it was like unbelievable how hard it was to come through to where I am today. But I say to say, I made it through even that. So if you're a parent, your kids are going to make it through, or your kid, your child, your children, they'll make it through. So don't be too hard on yourself, but definitely go to God to see how you measure up, to see what else there is that you can give to your children, whether they're little people, whether they're teenagers, whether they're adults, or whether they're older adults, because I truly believe that parents do make a difference in our lives, and that the love that you give to a human being could make all the difference in their life. And so I hope that this message today encouraged you. I hope that you'll be praying and rooting for Roland with Ken and Ebony, to have those beautiful, healthy, bouncy babies or baby. And that Ebony be healthy and live a long life to raise them and even see my grandchildren. So, yeah, I need a long, long life, because y'all know I'm 40-something. So I need a long, long life. So pray for that too. And I just wanted to share that with anyone who had concerns or wondered where Ken and I were with having kids. And with Ken, you guys already know he's a phenomenal person. He would be a phenomenal dad. He's very dependable, very honest, trustworthy, hardworking, and have a lot of love to give as well. And he's got to be real patient. If he's dealt with me, trust me, he's real patient. If he's had to deal with me and the Guillain-Barré Syndrome, he's extremely patient. So just know that's where we are if you ever have questions. And again, I wanted to film this so that one day my little person or persons can see this and like, that's mommy. And where was I, mommy? Was I in your belly? No, you weren't even in my belly. You were way up, and your spirit was in heaven, and God was, orchestrating the direct time, exact timing, the perfect timing for you to come. And once they get even older, they'll say, Mom, big ups to you. You had faith for me. Even when you were in a bed, a medical bed at that, recovering from Guillain-Barré Syndrome. And who would have known? And even at your age, in your 40s, you'd have me or have us, So that's another reason I wanted to document this. But I hope this encouraged someone, and know that whatever, ever you are believing God for, that as long as it's in alignment, you can find it in the Bible. Like I got my scriptures that I stand on regarding being a mother and pregnancy and all of that. But whatever it is, find it in the Word of God. Stand on that bad boy until it comes to pass, because it will come to pass if you just believe. That's all you got to do, is believe and trust, no matter what anybody thinks or says, their opinion, whether it's valid or not. At the end of the day, it's between you and Jesus, you and God, and what Jesus paid for. Between you and God and what Jesus paid for. All right, I love you all. Mwah. And thanks for rolling with Ken and Eb. And with that, I'm out.